Hello, it's Jeanette from my home studio in the UK, Far Forest Ceramics, and I have a kiln unload, but it's actually one that followed two I did yesterday. So I did a glaze unload, and this kiln, Glaze, had got a lot of pieces that I needed to refire. I also had some pieces that I needed to gold luster, so I've done my gold luster, just opened that kiln, and I'm going to open Glaze. Can't believe I've done 2 kiln openings in one day. How amazing is that? So in here, not a load of pieces, but I have reglazed some commissions and tried a few new combinations as well on the one piece I didn't like. So let's just see. It might be a disaster, but who knows? It's so cool. It's 16 degrees, so I won't need any gloves today. Hang on a sec. I haven't even done him. Right, here we go. Well, zero reaction on the top shelf because it wasn't very full. I've tried my Cone 6 program. There's nothing on the top shelf, and I've got literally 2 shelves with pots on, and because I wanted to mimic how I'd normally have it with 3 shelves on and fuller, because I'm doing a Cone 6, want to do a test, I put a shelf on, but I forgot I'd got an empty shelf on the top. Ha! That was funny. Okay, 1 empty shelf. Oh, I'm happier. Well, so, there's one I'm loving that was yesterday. So I'm working with a new clay, a Stoneware fleck, and on a commission. So I'm testing some new glazes. Now, I love this glaze. Oh, there's a bit of a drip there. So this is a new glaze combo that I did on this Stoneware fleck. So you can see the Stoneware fleck at the bottom, which is very nice. I did honey flux on the inside, and then over the honey flux, 2 coats of honey flux, I've done 2 coats of iron luster. Now that is what Lois Hook recommended. I saw some of her test tiles, but it had pinholed on my Cone 5, so I didn't do anything other than put it straight back in again, and I can see still some small pinholes. So should I have done another glaze over the top before refiring? But I've got a big drip down there, so I need to get a grinding disc in there to take it off, because if I tap that off, I think it'll take a chunk out the bottom. But nevertheless, that's still a nice jug. No pinholes on the inside, which is great. But I'm more than likely just have that for home. But I love that glaze. That inspired me to try a new combination. So if you saw a couple of kiln loads ago, this one basically emblazed 2 days ago, I did a commission, some test pieces. And this is the clay body. Okay, so again, Stoneware fleck, and it was a bit pinky. And wasn't too keen, so I wanted to fire it at Cone 6, which this is Cone 6. I applied an additional layer of Mako's peppered plum, but I can still see it's slightly pitted. I wouldn't say pinholes, but it's pitted, and I wouldn't want to have food safe on, food out of this with this slight pitting. It's not blowing me away, so I don't think I'm going to use that glaze combo, despite the fact I've just bought 4 tubs of peppered plum with the one I'm using, so I've got 5 tubs of peppered plum. I like the glaze, but I might try it on my Stoneware white clay, on that one. I had one that I've got running hot chowder dots on, that's a bit better, that I didn't like, so I just went over the top with the pepper plum again to try and mask it, so at least it could be usable. It's masked it enough so that now it's not looking so bad. The colour is less pink, but it's still got, if I put it in the light, you can see that slight pitting. So I think it's an incompatibility between this glaze and this clay body, or the firing temperature. It didn't like the Cone 5 with the hole then going into a Cone 6. Either way, not overly happy with those two. However, I am happy the way they stack. So these were done freeform without a profile rib, just trying to get the angle on them myself, which I'm quite liking. However, what I can see is this glaze I liked, so I decided to put this on one of the pieces of those bowls that I'd got for my son's commission. And from the top, I love that. It's not stuck. Oh, I do like that. So that is the same clay body, and The surface of that is lovely. That is lovely. Oh, that is really nice. That is literally just 2 coats of honey flux, 2 coats of iron luster, and I stepped back the iron luster to about here on its second coat, just in case it ran off the bottom, which it didn't. I like that. But that is such a gorgeous, floaty, melty. This is what I like about Cone 6. It's the meltiness I like, if that's even a word. I really like that. So now what I'm thinking is that's going to be the glaze combo. I need to buy honey flux and iron luster now, and that's out of stock in the UK a lot, so I'm going to have to search and hunt. I like that. So down the bottom, on the bottom shelf, I did a plate in this combo as well as the peppered plum, so I could see how did it fire without going through a refire cone 5, cone 6. Did that still have the pinholes? And also to see this one, and then that was going to give me the decision on which way I went. But seeing this, I like that. Oh, that's so gorgeous. I really like that. Right, that wasn't what caught my... Oh, this reglaze, I can see pinholes straight away. That's a shame. That's not happy. So this was my Cosmic Sky, which is my 3 times birch, 3 times Cordovan with cobalt wash on the top, and it's lost all the blue of the cobalt wash. It's run down, and I've now got pinholes. So that has pretty much ruined that one. That's a shame, because that was just going to be a bars for inside a house, but I don't like inside our house, but I don't like all the darkness here. I didn't reglaze it with anything. I think what I might do, just so I can use it in the house, I might reglaze a 3rd time. I've got nothing to lose. I really don't like this. Maybe put something on the top to lighten it up, reglaze the top where the pinholes are, see if I can salvage it just as a vase for inside our house. Okay. But the one piece I'm loving in here, I will try and insert a photograph of what this piece looked like from the first firing, and it was just nah. I put lavender mist on that stoneware fleck, and I thought it was going to go pink according to the test tile, and it didn't. So look at this. Oh, I am loving that now. What do you think I added onto that? So this at the bottom hasn't changed. This is the lavender mist with obviously the top glazes have dripped over. But I put, first of all, onto this, they're both Spectrum, just checking. So I put to here Spectrum's Floating Sangria, 2 coats, and then I did here Spectrum's Autumn Purple, 2 coats, and I went just over the rim slightly with the Sangria. Wrong way round. I put Autumn Purple on first, then Sangria on the top. So the Autumn Purple is, I'm looking down here because that's my Autumn Purple. So I put that on because it was closer to the lavender mist colour. Then the more pinky Sangria at the top, going over the tip with Sangria. And then, so that I didn't have straight lines, so I literally did them in bands. I'll put the pre-glaze, so I'll add photos of how I applied these glazes, so you can see it pre-fired and glazed in here, and you'll see I did bands, and then I actually added a schmooshy bit of, that's another new word, of was it honey flux or flux blossom? I'll check and I'll put it in the description, literally where they joined, so it wasn't a straight line, but it wasn't sweeps of colour, they were just bands, and I love that. One coat of Autumn Purple, Spectrum Autumn Purple, and then a second coat lower half. I'm going to add some Spectrum, what is this, Sangria on the top and on the inside rim. Just want to give it a bit of life. Now I'm going to add just some Flux Blossom, just at the point that they're meeting. just to blend them a little bit. Never done this before, so something new. Wow! I bet you I couldn't recreate that if I tried. I'm a purple girl, I'm not a pink girl, and that is right up my street. Ooh, I also like seeing the bare clay at the bottom. So this is what I made at home after I came back from the time with Lois. So it was being able to throw a little bit bigger. Oh, I love that. Oh, I do love that. That's gorgeous. Then on this shelf, I'll pause while I take them out, but I refired all my indicator hearts from the previous firing because they were cone 5 and I wanted a cone 6 result, because a lot of stroke and coats, they burn out a little bit more at cone 6, and I'm doing a paint your own pottery at a school festival just in a week now, and I want to have these as indicator hearts for all my pots of glaze. So this is like the colour, they can choose what they want to put in their pieces. So I want to be true to what it's going to turn out like, which is cone 6. So I refired them all, and yeah, they look lovely. So I'm sure you don't want to see all of these colours. I showed you them last time. It's just for me, they're now a truer colour, and I will do a little short video of how I apply and attach them to my glaze bottles. A lot of people ask, how do you attach them, which I think is a bit of a random question, but I will just pop a short video of how I use these and how it helps me. Right, need to clean up the shelf of these cookies and these posts before I take the shelf off, so I'll just pause you while I do that. Have a look. 3 plates. And okay. So this is the refire of the plate I did with the dots on the side, and I put an extra coat over the top. It's fired now to cone 6. The dots are not as distracting. I actually quite like the dots on the way I've done them, with a coat of peppered plum over the top, but that's way too much work to do that, and I don't love it that much. It's maybe distracting from the swirl, the pattern on the peppered plum and the dots. It's too much. Oh, but what do you think of that? So I need to test that underwater. I've tried a new stamp pad, an underglaze stamp pad, because where I do my plates and I dry them on a bat, so they're super smooth base when I take them off the bats, which I love the bottom. Look how flat that is. That's gorgeous. But I can't stamp in my Maker's Mark. So I've got a potter's pad, and I've just bought a rubber Maker's Mark stamp, and I've just done a test on that one. So I actually tried that on bisque. So it already bisqued and I put that on. I like how clear that is. I'm going to wash that, give it a few goings over and see. Yeah, I like that. I like that. And now I tried peppered plum without the refire, just on its own. 3 coats, not 2. And it's still got some of those pinholes in it. Colour's much nicer. Again, it's that same clay, but can you see there, as I move it, you can see those pinholes. What a shame. What a shame. Do you think I could put a clear over that and refire it? Do you think that would actually fill those pits so it could still be used? It's a shame, isn't it? I love the glaze. I don't know what to do then. And then I did a little small plate in the same clay body as the bowl, same as this. I wanted to see on a flat surface. I don't think my application was too good, but that's quite nice. Yeah, I like that. I didn't do back with as many coats as I did on the top, so I need to be exactly the same on the back as I am on the top, but it's quite hard. Let me put this down. It's quite hard on these to do a neat edge because I've got the foot on them. The way I've made the plates for their set have got no foot on it and smooth like that. So it's a lot easier for me to do that type of edge. So when I do this glaze here, I will be able to do it with the same 2 coats, 2 coats, 2 coats, honey flux, 2 coats, iron luster. So they're going to be in this shape is their sets. This was just some plates I'd done in the same clay body, and I tried to stamp there my maker's mark, but this one was easy to do because I actually did this on a former. So I formed it over a former on the wheel, so the back was surface up, soft clay, so I could impress my maker's mark. So if I use this method with a foot, I can put the maker's mark in. If I do it flat on the bat, on the wheel, I can put the other maker's mark on. So some mugs as well, I love them when they come off the Hartley Noble bats and they're so smooth. And I don't really want to carve a foot into it. So I'd love to be able to put this printed maker's mark there. So I actually think I'm going to use this as my glaze combo for their commission set because the bowls are gorgeous. They wanted something quite simple. I think if with the swirl in the middle, that should react quite nicely with that. I think that's quite a nice colour. I like that. I like that. So that's it. It wasn't a load in here, but I'm going to the Paint Your Own Pottery Family Festival in a week, where I've got my own little stall, and then I'm doing a session with 4 to 10-year-olds for Paint Your Own Pottery. I'll let you know how that goes, but that's the Kiln loads for me for maybe a couple of 3 weeks. I want to start making some stock now for a 2-day fair that I'm doing in August. Sounds a long way away, but I want to keep it fun. So as long as I don't have to do it 5 days a week and I can just as and when, I mean, I could be in here 5 days a week, but there's family, there's other interests. So to be able to just do it at my own leisure, build up some stocks, that'll be my next project that I'm going to be working on. So stay tuned. If you like these videos, please, I'd love it if you drop me a like or a comment. I love interacting with you all. I don't have a studio near me, so this is my online studio. And even better if you can subscribe. It is free and you get notified when videos pop up, but you need to click the little bell notification to all. But thanks anyway for all your support and your follows. I really appreciate it. And I will see you again soon. Take care. Bye bye.